Excellencies, distinguished delegates, honored speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with deep respect that we open today's conference by pausing to remember the victims of 1995 genocide in Srebrenica. I kindly invite you to join me in a moment of silence in their memory. Thank you. I would like to begin by welcoming all participants joining us today for this important international gathering in remembrance of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica. My name is Iris Begic, and it's my great honor to serve as your moderator on this deeply meaningful occasion. We are joined today by guests from over 30 countries, which stand as a meaningful reminder of many voices, communities, and nations represented in this room. A special welcome goes to the ambassadors and representatives joining us today from Austria, Belgium, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Jordan, Pakistan, Poland, Turkey, Ukraine, the United States, and Yemen. Thank you for standing with us in remembrance and solidarity.
I'm greatly honored and happy to be here also representing the European Union today. Today we mark the 30th anniversary of the genocide in Srebrenica, one of the darkest moments in our shared European history. It's our obligation to remember the more than 8,000 Bosniak men and boys who were killed at Srebrenica in July 1995. Our hearts and our thoughts are with the victims, the survivors, and all of
the opportunity to speak from the position of an international lawyer, who, however, had some experience with Bosnia-Herzegovina as well. We saw this film, which was very impressive, and it reminded me of another film by Jasmila Spanic, Quo Vadis, Aida, which also opened eyes on what really has happened in Srebrenica, in particular in the UN quarters there. As we have heard, more than 8,300 men and boys were killed. It was the largest or first genocide in Europe after the Holocaust. This week I visited an exhibition in Graz, my hometown, by Aida Šehović, Sto de Nema. And it is a monument consisting of more than 8,000 coffee cups, filchans, collected by her over 15 years, partly from the survivors of the genocide.
Good afternoon to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, your excellencies. As we commemorate the 30th anniversary of the genocide in Srebrenica, we do more than honor the victims. We are called to defend the truth. The UN resolution on Srebrenica, adopted in 2024, reminded the world of the legal and moral clarity surrounding this crime. It named what happened, genocide, and it urged all societies, especially those in the region, to confront that truth with courage, not denial. In today's world, where ethno-nationalist rhetoric and authoritarian rule are on the rise, memory becomes a warning against scapegoating, a warning against exclusion. Genocide remembrance gives us a framework. It helps us understand and respond to mass atrocities today, whether in Gaza, Myanmar, Sudan, or Ukraine. It compels international actors to act, not to stand aside. Remembering genocide is not a backward-looking act. It is a profoundly forward-looking responsibility in today's unstable international environment, where power politics often trumps principles. Remembrance becomes the form of resistance, a defense of truth, and a call to uphold the values of humanity. By denying genocide while glorifying its perpetrators, Ratko Mladic and Radovan Karadžić, Serbia insults the memory of the victims. But more than that, it sustains the ideological infrastructure that made the genocide possible. This is not only dangerous for Bosnia and Herzegovina, it is dangerous for the region. It undermines the credibility of international law. In the spirit of the UN resolution on Srebrenica, we must state clearly, there can be no reconciliation without truth. There can be no peace while war criminals are celebrated. And there can be no stability if the results of genocide are normalized through secession. The international community must not allow Republika Srpska's push for independence to go unchallenged. To allow it would be to reward genocide. It would permanently fracture Bosnia and Herzegovina. It would send a dangerous message to the world that crimes against humanity can succeed if pursued with enough persistence. In the spirit of the UN resolution on Srebrenica, we must insist Serbia must confront its past honestly. This means acknowledging the genocide, but it also means dismantling state-sponsored narratives that glorify perpetrators. It means introducing genocide education into schools' curricula. So far, we have failed to truly learn the lessons of Srebrenica, and let us hope it's not too late. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the floor. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me personally. I stand here in my personal capacity, but also as a representative of the United Nations. I cannot separate both of this. I'm very grateful for being part of this commemoration. It's a personal matter for me, but of course is also a very important topic for the United Nations. On a personal note, as the moderator mentioned, I come from Rwanda. I left Rwanda just after the genocide of 1994. May the memory of Srebrenica guide us to conscience and strength to work to strengthen our communities and provide commitment to the world where dignity, justice, and peace prevail for all. May it remind us that peace is not a given. It is a choice, a responsibility, and a shared journey for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Iris. Ladies and gentlemen, if young Serbs are denied access to the historical truth of Srebrenica, their worldview remains shaped by the idea of an eternal enemy and by a sense of selective justice. Only through collective reflection, a shared catharsis, and an honest confrontation with the past can we develop the awareness that wrongdoing has consequences. Perpetrators must not be glorified, even though such heroization still persists in some places today. At the same time, it must be clearly stated, a child born now in Niš or in Belgrade bears no guilt for the crimes committed by Ratko Mladic. Responsibility must always be assigned individually and never collectively. Even more striking is the example of Rwanda. After the 1994 genocide, the Rwandan government made a conscious decision to abandon ethnic classifications Hutu and Tutsi, a deliberate move away from colonial patterns of division. Instead, it focused on building a shared Rwandan identity. Today, 30 years later, Rwanda stands as a powerful example of reconciliation and rapid economic development. The question remains, can Bosnia, Serbia, and wider Balkan region follow a similar path? The day will come when all citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina, regardless of ethnicity, live a shared identity as Bosnians, just as Rwandans today collectively embrace theirs. In parallel, Concrete projects are needed, cultural, economic, and educational initiatives that build trust. But nature offers a lesson. Rivers that cross national borders continue to flow, regardless of man-made boundaries. What matters is how people on both banks use them together. The door to reconciliation between Serbia and Bosnia, I believe, stands in Srebrenica. But the key lies in Belgrade. Only when Serbia is ready to acknowledge the past in all its complexity can genuine renewal begin. Serbia needs a political leader who, like Willy Brandt once did, can both symbolically and practically assume historical responsibility by acknowledging the verdicts of the Hague Tribunal, promoting accountability and initiating genuine reconciliation. Only then can a new shared narrative take root, one free from toxic legacy of the eternal enemy still present in school books. As was said in the beginning, it takes time. And indeed, time can be healing. In Serbia, more and more people are beginning to think critically and independently. Unprecedented student protests point to a shifting social consciousness. Even voices questioning the justification of the aggression against Bosnia, once unthinkable, are starting to emerge. It is time for Serbian Willy Brandt. Thank you very much.